Peace. Everybody, we're at 4:59 a.m. Said that I was going live at 5 o'clock. Have a lot of topics to cover today. We're going to be talking a little bit about the LGBTQ, President Trump's assassination, alleged assassination attempt versus JFK's assassination attempt. Take a few minutes and hope that somebody comes in. In the meantime, let's give all praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living one. I guess why there's nobody in here, I'll go ahead and I'll be very plain and simple to YouTube. I'm just getting off of a 7-day community guideline strike for mentioning in gematria here look at the word. This word here is this number here. This number here has everything to do with the Revelation 13:18. So I'm going to give it a few minutes and hopefully we can get a few people in here for this lesson. And while I'm thinking about that, let's go ahead and share that there was a man in the 19th century, Lord Acton, who was credited with saying power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So we're going to be reading from a few quotes, taking a look at some assassination attempts. We're going to be looking at the assassination attempt on not the assassination attempt, but the assassination of JFK, and going over some of my political views. I had hoped that some people would come in, but it's very clear that I am being shadow banned, my content shadow banned, my information shadow banned, and I just want those creators of AI to know that when my soul is released from my spirit, that I am going to smash your AI. I'm going to decimate the AI. There's a movie that was called The Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and one of the main characters in the movie, John Connors, was born, and he came up with a way to destroy the AI, the computers. Because computers, whether you understand that or not, run the world. And computers in gematria is 666. I've been telling people for a long time that we live in a game simulation. DeGarmo and Key. DeGarmo and Key. So he picks up this disc right here, which is a 666 disc, and he puts it inside of the computer. What does it say? It says loading game program. right there, loading game program. Sorry about that. You probably didn't see it too well. And then later on, here, you can see a bag of tricks. Okay. Look, when it says you see the silhouette of the woman, and then the minute they say tricks, what happens? They show you the woman. Also, okay, 666. Okay, right here. He says, Jesus, won't you save me? Jesus, won't you save me? And then they stick this skull right in front of you. What is the name of that movie that just came out with Jack Houston and Ryan Reynolds? Let's see. What's the name of the movie that just came out with Ryan Reynolds and Jack Houston? I think they can't think of the name of it. Name of the movie with what was Ryan Reynolds' last movie that he just did?
Here is information from Wikipedia.
Deadpool. Okay. Deadpool trailer with Ryan Reynolds when he says this cinematic world as you know it will come to an end.
Back in civilian life, I wear a toupee. Really nobody knows. She's not. Oh, yes, she is. No. Oh, yeah. Al, I'm back.
About damn time. You holding?
We have company. Alicia.
There you go.
Alicia.
There's a little portal for you. All right. And what does it look like? It looks like in an eye, right? Certainly does.
Tori.
You're damn straight it is. Disney brought him back. They're gonna make him do this till he's 90.
Nice fake o'clock shadow.
It's a summer balayage from the French. It's meant to mimic the natural highlights of the sun.
It's a toupee.
It's a toupee. That wasn't the one that I was looking for, but let's see. This is why I hate going live. I can't pull up what I want. Anyways, Ryan Reynolds inside of the outfit here tells you that this cinematic world that you're living in is going to come to an end. A cinematic world that we're living in. Hunger Games, where she shoots an arrow at the dome.
Remember who the real enemy is.
Okay, and if you look real close, I don't know if you can see this or not, but they're going to show you you see the little hexagon things right there? Those are hexagons. And what is a hexagon? It's a six-sided hexagon. And the word hex is in hexagon. And this is why Egyptians used beehives as symbolism to this plane of existence that we live in, because we absolutely live in a beehive. And they're showing us over and over. King Kong throws a spear at the dome. Again, the hexagon. This is Egyptology. They're showing you through Egyptology that we live in a hive, that we live underneath of a firmament. And the firmament is a dome that is set up above us. The dome is the firm mind of God. Genesis chapter 1, verse 6 Bible Hub. It's important to understand that this firmament, and God said, let there be an expanse. So they call it the expanse, they call it the vault, they call it the firmament, and many other different, let's see, there's another one here, mostly the expanse, firmament, the sky. So the sky that we're looking at here, this is why I read from different versions, is a vault. It's the vault of heaven, because we're trapped inside of a simulation. Okay? Now to break from that real quick, look at this guy with blood in his hair, wearing a wig, the whole works. Okay? And look at this woman with little tassels on her breasts. So they're singing, we're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children. Now, I have a couple of listeners in here. I just want to ask you a couple of questions, This is a very sensitive subject to me, partly because my son, after 33 years, I just found out through my daughter that my son is still alive, after being told from social services, as well as the medically fragile foster care mother that was taking care of my son, that he died. He died at the age of 10. I've just found out probably about a month and a half ago that my son is alive. All right. And that my son is transitioning to be from a man to a woman. And that causes a lot of conflict and pain for myself. Okay. We're here, we're queer, and we're not going shopping. So the question I want to ask you is, if you had a Teddy Ruxpin spy cam teddy bear in your daughter's room, a young child's room, say 6 or 7 years old, and you have a family member that comes in and does this horrid act, forces himself on your daughter or your son, either or, it doesn't matter, you know. Evil doesn't discriminate to who it is, but this vile action takes place on one of your children. My question to you would be, would you ever let a person, okay, you have this on a Teddy Ruxpin spy cam teddy bear inside of your home. You've left one of the people that you trust in your family, because 90% of the time that something happens to a child inside of the family, it's from a family member. And you have this spy cam and you see this horrid act take place on your child. Would you allow that person ever around your children again? It's a simple yes or no question. Hi, Binky Boo. Welcome. Thank you very much for showing up to the stream. I've been going through a lot of discord, you know, simply because of the parable that it says, I shall place your seed between you and the woman, and I shall crush your head. This parable that talks about crushing our head is the seed of Satan. It's that eternal voice in our side of our heads that is always making us go nuts. So, my point here is, I've been single now for 8 years. I haven't dated at all. I really started focusing on myself. I've managed to get my life in order again by the grace and love of the Supreme Creator, guiding me, keeping me out of harm's way, because I was heavy into drugs. You know, I smoked a crack pipe, I smoked marijuana, I smoked cigarettes, I smoked cocaine. I did it all, okay? And there is this internal voice that rings in our heads when we do these drugs. When you fornicate, how's the Supreme Spirit going to correct us? He corrects us by punishment. Here's another video that I've watched, and I think that people should go and watch this video as well. And the video is called Nephilim, Demons Created a Machine God. And the machine god is this television. It was the first massive weapon of destruction that was created, is the television. All right? And now the smartphones are even worse. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, Bible Hub. So the Spirit brought me out of a spell. Okay? Let's see. I forgive, let's see, is that the right one? 2 Corinthians 2:11. This should be it. Let's go with Bible Hub 11. In order that Satan might not outwit us, for we're not ignorant of his schemes. Second Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, Bible Hub. Over here at the King James Bible, it's telling us, lest Satan should get an advantage over us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. Okay? Definition of device: a thing made or adapted for a particular purpose, especially a piece of mechanical or electronic equipment. So when I say that Jesus escaped death, he escaped death through one of these, through a portal, a trinity right there for you. We're going to be going through some of these parables here. There's your portal right there, Walt Disney. Okay. And then there it is. That's Jesus coming from a portal. Okay. What that really is this right here. Where's it at? I know that I had it. Tron gets trapped inside the game grid. Yeah, thank you for coming in, Binky. I'm very grateful. I know that YouTube is blocking my content. So that there is what CERN is.
Huh? Come on, big fella. Let's see what you got.
I'd like to go.
Okay, take a very close look at that right there. Look at the tubing right here, the tubing that comes around here, and the kind of circular, the way that they have it right here, the circular. Okay, what is this? This is what I showed you earlier. Take a good look at this grid here. Let's enlarge it for you. That right there, okay? My eyes are too small to see it. It's the same thing that Jesus is coming out here. Oh, here, let's pop this one out real quick too. This is what I mean, that you got to do everything inverted. Mickey from Mickey Mouse, inverted, upside down, is wicked. And then you had Walt Disney. We'll get back to that picture there. I want to show you the Walt Disney picture again. This is the same thing. Walt Disney is wicked, and they use these subliminal messages that take place. Also right here is Jesus coming out of CERN. This is the device most people have these things up in folders, but I'm not real tech savvy here, so did I go past it already? Right there. This is CERN, and they showed you that 42 years ago in Tron. And look here at Jesus's hand. He's flipping you devil horns. Jesus is. Not me. I'm not flipping you devil horns. Jesus is flipping them. That's the same piece of mechanical equipment that they're showing you here. Would you agree with that, Binky? Would you think that that's the same thing that they're showing you right there, is that Jesus is coming out? Images of CERN. There's that tubing right there in front of your face. There's that little portal. And this is how Tron.
I'm warning you. You're entering a big error, Flynn. I'm gonna have to put you on the game grid.
He's gonna have to put you on the game grid. We're in a game grid. We're in a simulation. So right here, the Lord God is speaking to the serpent, and he says, I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed, the man's seed and her seed. He will crush, Satan, will crush your head. How does Satan crush our head? He crushes our head through that eternal voice inside of our head that says, you know what? You smoke that crack pipe, you know? Go out and find yourself a prostitute on the streets, man. Go out and go ahead and do that, man. Here's the horrifying thing is, so many Christians today say that we are judgmental. Give me 1 second here. I got to block this out for a second because I want to keep anonymity of this person here. Okay. It says here, John, I did read your bio. I'm on a dating site because I haven't dated for 8 years, so I finally went on a dating site. You have a lot of deal breakers up front. I appreciate your honesty and your list of do's and don'ts. That's a lot. I'm afraid that I would disappoint you and could never live up to your expectations. I believe in God. Christians say that all day long, that they believe in God, but when you try talking to them about God, they don't want to hear anything about it. I could never be judgmental to anyone, as I don't think sexuality is a choice. So she's saying that people like this are born into this plane of existence, and it's not about the sexuality. I could never be judgmental to anyone, as I don't think sexuality is a choice. So by what she's saying there is, she believes that you are literally born into this plane of existence. When you're spit out of the womb as a child, that you could be born gay that way. Okay? And then I don't agree with that. I believe that this world, this device, the television, desensitizes us to it. The education system desensitizes us to it. Let's see. This kind of stuff desensitizes us. Let me see here. I want to show you guys something as well. This is called indoctrination. Oh, they didn't let me upload it, or should be up here. Let's see. Well, they didn't upload it. Ain't that just something else? Let's see. Let's go to my history. Give me a second.
So from just an outlet, because if I didn't put it into fighting, I would end up in jail. But the majority of my money was actually made in the pimp game. I say that, people think I'm making it up. It's true. This is why I think I have a bit of...
So the majority of his money that he made is in the pimp game. This guy here is Andrew Tate.
Following on Twitter because I have a unique resume. Like there's a whole bunch of guys, but not many like world champion kickboxer, pimp.
See, this guy is ratting himself off straight up. This is the guy that was arrested in Romania for sex trafficking. Andrew Tate in gematria comes to 666. That dude's a beast. He's a demon. I need people to understand that. I work hard at this information to teach people this information. Genesis chapter 1 verse 25 Bible Hub. See, what people don't understand is that this creation here, what's going on in the 6th day of creation, God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and this is where confusion is brought in. They've intertwined the livestock with the beast, and this is not what they're talking about. For the beast are these right here. 2 Peter 2:12 Bible Hub. Looking over here at the King James Bible here, which says, but these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things they understand not. There's your giveaway right there. Speak evil. What beast on the face of this earth can speak other than those Gentile that are created on the 6th day of creation? Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 19 Bible Hub. Looking here at the King James Bible again. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, your distress, the Gentile. The Gentile here, distress, are the nations right here. The nations are the Gentile right here, which are also a troop of animals. Definition of the word soldier. Yeah, you're going to get yours, YouTube. I got news for you. When my spirit leaves this body, I'm going to rip the horn straight off of Satan's head. Now, I know that Satan, the real Satan, isn't a red beast with horns on his head. That's all indoctrination. Satan is a beautiful, gorgeous man that came into the garden and he swindled Eve. Look at this word, soldier. S-O-L back in Latin is soul. Is the same definition for English, which is S-O-U-L, soul. Now, why isn't soldier spelled S-O-L-G-E-R? Jer. Because dire makes no sense, right? Why do you suppose soldier is spelt that way? Because when you go to war and you fight and you get yourself killed, images of troops marching in ranks, this is your troop of animals. These are soldiers. And when you get yourself killed during battle, your soul dies. That's why it's spelt the way it is, because the television, what does it do? images of televisions? This is a portal. What is it doing? It's programming. That's what they could. Thank you for turning in to our channel and our programming. We are being programmed from the television. What else is it? It's a guide, right? The TV guide. What's it doing? It's casting spells. It's casting something over us. Programming, casting, channeling. This is mankind's work. Andrew Tate is mankind. Andrew Tate is 666. Mankind in gematria comes to 66. Mankind is created here in Genesis 1:25. Then God, this God here is Elohim, said, let us make man in our image. Over here at the King James Bible tells us God made the wild animals, each according to their kinds. Drop down here to the King James Bible, and God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds. I'm sorry. I need to bring this down one. And this God here is Elohim. Elohim is plural of Eloah. Plural of Eloah. God's in the ordinary sense, but specifically used of the supreme God. Is it not written in your law that I have said ye are gods? Is it not written in your law, I said you are gods? This is Jesus telling a quote from the Bible in John 10:34. Jesus is telling us that we're gods. When did Jesus tell us that we're gods? Genesis chapter 3, verse 5, Bible Hub. For God knows, this is Jesus, that in the day you eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and you will be as God, like God, knowing good and evil. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, Bible Hub. The God of this age, again, here, Theos, a deity, especially the supreme divinity, figuratively, a magistrate. This is huge. A magistrate. Why is that so big to me? Well, I got to show you. We'll get to that one too. Right there. A magistrate is a magistra or a magister, which is a fourth degree. Donald Trump is singing all day long, Make America Great Again. That's a MAGA right in your face. A MAGA is a magus. A magus is a magic, a magician. Dictionary.com. Magus is a sorcerer, which is a magician, and this is why you have M-A-G-I in the word, magi, in the word magistrate. The God of this age is a magistrate. It's a magi. It's a sorcerer. Well, why would they remove it? Why did they take it down? A magus is a sorcerer, okay, which is a wizard, which is witchcraft. Mankind is performing witchcraft. Witchcraft is 666. Okay, we live in a 666 system, as I've shared in many of my lessons. So, the God of this age has blinded the minds of the unbelievers. A magistrate have blinded the minds of the unbelievers so that they cannot see the light of the ghost spell. The gospel is a ghost spell of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. Christ is the image of God. That's this one right here. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image. An image is to shade a phantom. It's an illusion. Hence, a representative figure, especially an idol. So that man that was created on the 6th day of creation is an idol. I'm not saying it, folks. It's right there in front of you. Also, basalamo is the word. And when we click on image and we go to the Strong's Concordance, what do we have? 1 second, my stand's ready to fall over here. Okay. Salim. Salim is the definition for an image. And when you spell the word backwards, it is to molest. An image is a phantom. An image is an idol. And this used to say an idol on here, which is in reference. Let me close some of these up. Let's say that, so this machine here is a mechanical piece of equipment. Image is Salim, a phantom. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image. And an image right here hope you can see that, is a phantom. An image is a phantom, which is also an idol. Exodus chapter 20, verse 4, Bible Hub. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven above, on the earth below, or the waters beneath. So you're not to make for yourself an idol, an image. How do I connect it for you? Right here. NIV says, you shall not make for yourself an image. So an image is an idol. A pesel, which is a graven image. Those that are created on the 6th day of creation, there it is, the 6th day of creation, are an image. Soldiers, the military, the government, the courthouses, the Supreme Court are officials. All right? And as I started this lesson, I said that there was a man, Lord Acton, from the 19th century who was credited with telling us that power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So the question to ask yourself is, why would anybody vote for another person to have power over them? That makes no sense. Why would you vote for the lesser of two evils? That makes no sense either. So I told you right here, that was Donald Trump getting shot in his ear. Told you he'd come back to that. What is that? That's the cross, isn't it? Would you agree that that is a cross? Okay, hold that note. Showed you the cross. This is cult behavior, right? That is a mirror. They're showing you this is how they watch us. That is a stage designed 666 right in front of you. Walt Disney standing in front of what would appear to look like a CERN. There's a CERN machine right there. Here's Jesus coming out of a CERN machine. And I know that Satan doesn't look like this, but if he does, I'll rip the horn straight from his head when I'm released from. Who can make war with the beast is what the Bible says. Well, I make war with the beast every day. Because these are the beast. So, when you register, when you are a registered member, you are no degree. If you just register to vote, you're no degree. But if you're an active member, which means if you go to the polls and you vote, then you are a Satanist. Because mankind created on the 6th day are the Satanists. They are first degree Masons. Witches and warlocks are second degree Masons. Priests are third degree. Magistras are fourth. And MAGA, which is Donald Trump, making America great again, which is a magi. Why do you suppose that they show you Jesus Christ like this in a tattoo? Why do you think that they're mocking Jesus when they do that? No. They're telling you what Jesus is. He's the dead. This is a card, a tarot card, a newer edition of tarot cards showing you Donald Trump with this little line right through here, which could represent a bullet. Censorship. We are being censored. Sophia is Sophis, which is an AI. So the machine, AI, is the New World Order. Everything's AI, everything that you see. They're showing you in the tarot card readings. These are not coincidences. This is why 9/11 was predicted by The Simpsons. And I took this picture here because it was one of those little things, stop on the 6 and I'll give you $60,000. If you do that, what do you have? 6, 6, 6. Why do women want men to stand 6 feet tall, have six-pack abs, and make six figures? Because we live in a 666 system. This is Donald Trump right after the execution. He's already got the badge taken off of his ear. There's nothing missing from that ear. And then when he was asked by reporters about his ear, he said, well, I'm a real fast healer. And these are where all your tax money is going to, because the slave masters are getting ready for World War II. Okay? They have an underground roadways that cover this earth that are called they're called DUMBs, D-U-M-B, DUMBs, deep underground military bases. And that's how we went into trillions of dollars in debt, is them building these underground terrariums and sanctuaries underneath of the ground. But the Bible plainly tells us that those places will be their tombs. Here you have a picture of Vatican Square. And what does that look like? That looks like a keyhole, correct? And Jesus is the one that holds the keys. Remember, I told you to hold the note on that. That is a keyhole. This picture here is expressing to us about the energy that's inside of the cities, being this grid we live on is a holographic system. It's just like Star Wars. It's just like Star Trek when they're fighting with swords and stuff and practicing on the holodeck. That's what this plane of existence is that we live in. If you worship Jesus and die, why? Because he's the God of the dead. So I took this one here because I was all PO'd because people kept saying that they liked me on the dating website. And then when I would click on the like to see who likes me, it would say, we're sorry, this profile is no longer available. You see, these dating websites are scams, folks. They put us behind these computers for 3 years while COVID was out, and then everybody's behind these computers, and they're trying to get money from us like this through dating apps. It's horrifying. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin to find me a mate today, because these dating apps are horrifying, man. These are all pictures that I just took. I was just going to simply use as thumbnails for my videos. So I had made this video. I'd hoped that one of the women who I've interacted with on Our Time, which is supposed to be one of the top dating sites in America, one of the top 5 dating sites, and I've had nothing but hellacious results since I've been on it. I mean, women today are so judgmental about what's going on, what's being said in the Bible. I mean, this kid looks like he has Down syndrome. So when we come over here and we look at this, not this, but let's see. Brother Sanchez TV, one of the channels I listen to. Another annoying. This is called, when I showed that video of Andrew Tate ratting himself off, man. He's telling all the young kids how he's making money by turning his girlfriends out into sex slaves and stuff, and making all this money by them shaking their asses on TikTok. That's called chaos. Okay, when you as young adults, young adult men hear this kind of information, hey, if I was young, I know damn well as a young child, I would have been like, damn, man, I want to have some prostitutes working for me. I want to be that kind of lifestyle. I want to be able to bang fine-looking whores. I want to be able to make money with them and everything else. And then you have Christians that say, you know, that they're not judgmental. Mm-mm. Christians are the most judgmental people on the face of the earth. You know, they say that they don't judge, but I guarantee you, if a Christian's child, the person who told you that I'm not a judgmental person, like, there's a few people that have been murdered, black families, like Sonia Massey. Sonia Massey execution.
Stack right there, maybe.
1 second.
You see that cop? He pointed to the other cop. He's pointing out that there's a pot of water on the stove here.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
Well, number one, boiling water doesn't catch fire, folks. So she walks over, she grabs it, she turns down the burner. Okay, from that point on, what is the purpose of picking this pot up? There is no purpose. There's no rhyme or reason why this woman would pick up this pot off the stove. It was perfectly fine right where it's at. Where are you going? She asks the cop. He says, I'm moving away from you because you got a pot of hot boiling water.
Away from the house in the water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
She rebukes him in the name of Jesus. Now, we're taught as Christians that when you rebuke in the name of Jesus, that demons flee. Well, these demons didn't flee. What did they do? You better not. I'll shoot you right in your fucking face. All right? I'm going to shoot you right in your fucking face is what that cop said. She rebuked this demon in Jesus' name. And he said, you better not. I'll shoot you right in your face. Well, if there was any truth to the fact that demons flee in the name of Jesus, he wouldn't be withdrawing his gun. They would be saying to this woman, well, you have a nice evening. Now watch. Drop the pot. Oh, they didn't show the shooting. So they blast her and they blur this whole kitchen section here out. My point here is if somebody's shot in their face, like JFK here, he's already been shot. Now his head explodes. You see that? That man's head explodes. So that means that if you got shot in your head 3 times by a cop that close who uses a .38 caliber gun, there would have been brain matter from that woman all over the kitchen. They would have had to blur out the entire kitchen because it would have been on the refrigerator. It would have been on the floor to the right. It would have been on the wall in the back. If you don't, I mean, they're showing us.
I'm not really sure how to address this. I don't really promote any kind of violence, though I speak with a lot of disdain about a corrupted police department. And I know that this may be Hollywood, but I make this short in regards to the Sonia Massey assassination. Pay close attention to what happens when somebody gets shot in the head.
You see that? That brain matter splatted all the way across the hall there. That's a good 12 feet away from that. Even though that's Hollywood, and I'm telling you it's Hollywood. Why? Because if somebody gets shot in their head the way he just gets shot here,
pay close attention to what happens when somebody gets shot in the head.
they don't do that. Okay? That man would have flew back 10 feet, man. His feet would have came up off the ground. He wouldn't have stood there like that and then fell forward. That's all Hollywood. And you can see the brain matter all the way across the hall. That would have been the same thing with Sonia Massey. If Sonia Massey was shot in her head, then there would have been brain matter all over that kitchen. That's what I'm talking about. Ezekiel chapter 31, verse 3, Bible Hub. Look at the Assyrian. Let's read from the King James Bible right here. Behold, the Assyrian, Satan, was a cedar in Lebanon. Satan is the tree of knowledge. That's what a cedar is. It's a tree. Satan is the tree of knowledge of good and evil with fair branches. Fair branches means light skin. Satan was a fair-skinned man and a shadowing shroud. The shadowing shroud is our skin suit. We have been trapped in a flesh skin suit. So because we've been trapped in this flesh skin suit, then that makes us the seed of Satan. This is why they march through the streets singing, "We're here, queer, coming for your children." Revelations chapter 21, verse 8, Bible Hub. Welcome to the second person who's come into the room. Blessings to you. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living one. I haven't seen your videos in a bit. They're very deep stuff, and it's definitely a lot to think about. Definitely got to reflect on this kind of stuff. Well, I really wish you would, Cassandra. I really wish you would. So, because ministers can read you the Bible all day long, and that's what a lot of people, where they make the mistake, is just reading the Bible. And the Bible isn't meant to be just read. It's meant to be studied. Okay, this is what it means to show yourself approved. Revelations 21:8 tells us, this lesson here was a little bit about the politics, because you're talking about politics too. Let me ask you something real quick, Cassandra. In the middle of your stream, it just kind of shut down again, and it said that this stream is for private viewers only. Did you change your view? Because I was right in the middle of a comment getting ready. You and I were right in the middle of talking about, you were talking about women being in that it doesn't make sense in religion that a woman, couldn't be in power. And you asked a few questions, and I was trying to answer those questions for you, and then I got cut off. So I just wanted you to know, if you got to be, you can't just let anybody mediate be a monitor for your channel, because if you're allowing people to monitor and they don't like what it is that they're hearing, then you know, they block comments and stuff. I noticed that you were kind of frustrated a little bit because people were asking you questions, you know, that didn't pertain to the topic. I understand that, but you're always gonna get that. I think that you should focus more on comments that people are being rude in the senses of sexual or something like that. People that have come in, you're talking about a topic and they're asking you to, you know, take your top off or something like that, and they're being rude in that kind of fashion. Those are the people that you kick out. But if somebody's just commenting and sharing their information, it's not fair to have a monitor in there, because that's what I kind of thought. I thought that you had a monitor, and that monitor didn't like what I was saying, because you were saying that you agreed with me that men are stronger and stuff. And the point that I was trying to make is that okay, the roads that you drive on, the cars that you drive in, the gasoline that you pump at, the skyscrapers that are built, the home that you live in, the computer that you're on, the smartphones that were built, the clothing at one time was all built from mankind's hands. Mankind is the creator of all things. Women didn't have their hands in creation of anything of this plane of existence. Women can't get into, are not capable of going into a forest and slamming a hodad every 10 feet into the ground, pulling up the surface of that ground and planting a pine tree in it, and then taking another 3 steps, throwing a hodad in the ground and pulling up the ground and throwing a pine tree in it. Women aren't capable of flying or climbing trees and doing tree trimming services within inside of the forestry. Women aren't capable of iron working. Women are not capable of building infrastructure or bridges or ships in shipyards and military aircraft and all that. What I'm saying is mankind are the builders to this country. Now your argument is that a woman can run a country. That's not what the Bible is telling us. See, as Bible, those that are seeking the Bible spiritually will have the Spirit placed on them. They will learn the truth. Let me show you. I shall place enmity between you and the woman. So in 3:15 here, it's telling us, I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He, this is Satan, will crush your head, and you will strike his heels. So what does it mean to crush our head? It's that eternal voice that's in our head, that the one that you go through, that you're very talented at expressing your feelings, that sometimes you feel like you're attractive and your ego gets the better end of you. Other times you feel like you're ugly. That's what it means to crush your head. It's an internal voice that's inside of us, because Satan is the flesh. As long as we are living in the flesh, then that's what we got to go through. All of us. It's a never-ending story. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, Bible Hub. Give me 1 second. I need to close some of these windows up. I'm getting way too many windows here. Here's a good parable for you too. Do not cast your pearls before swine. Do not give to the dogs what is holy. What's holy? It's this book. Do not throw your pearls before swine. Do not throw these scriptures before the Gentile. The swine are a representation of Gentile. Let me see. Okay, here's another one that says, for when the priesthood is changed, the law must be changed as well. I'm trying to think of something else that you're talking about on your channel. So Can a woman rule a man? No, the woman was created as a helpmeet in the Bible. See, once you understand Genesis, let me show you something here. Genesis chapter, which one is it? Now I lost it. Can't think of who it is. A good point. I put someone as I can't see. I got as a mod, because I kept getting weird ones. Yeah, you shouldn't focus on that at all. Really, don't focus on, unless somebody's asking you to take your clothes off or dance in front of the camera for them, or telling you where they're coming from. Also, I was talking about tattoos, because I was saying that tattoos like this and full sleeve tattoos and arm tattoos and stuff, there are laws and commandments. Okay, do I believe in the 613 laws of Yahweh? No. Why? Because there's a lot of contradictions. I want to show you something else as well. Your incense and sacrifices are an abomination to me. I told you this the other day. Isaiah chapter 13 tells us, bring your worthless offerings no more. So sacrifice is a lie. So if this God here is saying that bring your worthless offerings no more, your incense is detestable to me, your new moons, your Sabbaths and convocations, the Sabbath days and everything that is made up are all blasphemies. I cannot endure iniquity in the solemn assembly. So you have the Creator here that's telling us plainly that these things are worthless to him. So if these are worthless to him, then wouldn't the Jesus being put on a cross as a blood sacrifice for humanity also be worthless? Why? Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 19 Bible Hub. O Lord, my strength and my refuge, strength, fortress, and refuge in the day of distress. The nations here, look, are a troop of animals. They're Gentile. Why is this important? Let's go to dictionary.com on this one. Back at a thesaurus for a minute. This is really important. A Gentile. Look at there. So a Christian is a Gentile, as distinguished from Jews. Mormon church, not Mormon church, are Gentile. A Gentile is a pagan. All right? So Christians are considered heathen and Christians are considered pagans. I'm just pointing stuff out for you, young one, so you can learn. Yeah, well, I've had this channel for 4 years now. And the truth is, my content is shadow banned. Okay? This is why I have one listener inside of the room. When I first opened up my channel and stuff, when I first started, I used to have a lot of subscribers and stuff. I used to have a lot of views. I used to get 2,000-3,000 views on my content. But as soon as I started teaching about 666, they shut it down. When I started teaching about this revelation here, Revelation chapter 13, verse 18, Bible Hub. When I started teaching stuff like this, here's a call for wisdom. Let the one with insight calculate the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number 666. This has everything to do with the sixth day of creation. Those that are created on the sixth day of creation here, let's see. This is the sixth day of creation. You see here where it says God made the beast of the earth according to their kinds. Now I confirm this here, the beast of the earth according to their kinds, with this parable right here. Got a lot of windows open. Give me a chance here. Where are you at? Right there. 2 Peter 2:12. This is why we know that it's man that he's talking about. Slide it over here. Look at the King James Bible. King James Bible tells us, but these as natural brute beasts, okay? The first time the beast is made in the Bible is Genesis 1:25, when God creates the beast of the earth, each according to their kind, made to be taken and destroyed. This is the kicker right here. They speak, okay? Animals don't speak. So now we know when it talks about the beast of the earth in Genesis 1:25, here, God made the beast of the earth according to their kinds. Now we know that he's talking about mankind, and mankind in gematria comes to 66, and mankind's created on the sixth day. Gentile are created on the sixth day. Gentile are the ones that are the beasts of the field, each according to their kind. And those are not the same as this one here that's created in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, Bible Hub. I didn't say Ephesians chapter 2, verse 7. I said Genesis. They're starting to mess with my stream. They're locking up my computer now. Give me a second here. I got to close some windows up. I got so many windows open. The best way to understand the truth is when somebody is showing you the scriptures and they're telling you what's being said from the scriptures. You can read from the Bible all day long. You're not going to find anything spiritual from just reading the Bible. You got to go to the Spirit of truth. You got to ask for the truth to be upon you. This is how you find discernment. Also, look at the word soldier here. I don't know if you were here earlier in the stream. So humans are all Gentiles. No. Humans were created in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Gentiles were created in Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. They're two different creations. This is the race war that truly exists. It exists between Israel and the Gentile. The Gentile were created first. Evil was created first on the sixth day of creation. That's what the parable is talking about, is those that were created on the sixth day of creation. Those that were created on the sixth day of creation were created through technology. They're clones. They're not real. They're an illusion. They have no spirit. They have no soul on them. This is people like Andrew Tate. I showed if you go back and you watch later on, I'm showing you that Andrew Tate comes to 666 in gematria, and he used to be a boxer, a professional boxer, a UFC fighter, and he became so wanting of money and power and stuff, he's thinking, well, how can I make money right now? Well, because he was a boxer, he had multiple chicks and girlfriends that he had because women were throwing themselves at him. So what he did is he bought a bunch of computers and he set all these girls in front of the computers right here. You see that, what it says? It says the Nephilim, demons creating a machine god. Okay, and this aligns with 2 Corinthians 2:11, which says that lest Satan, should get an advantage over us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. The devices are these television sets. The television was the biggest weapon of mass destruction. Listen what I tell you. What do they call the television? They call it programming. What do they call? They call it channeling. What are they doing? They have a cast. They're casting. What is the TV guide? It's a guide. It's all channeling mankind's vision of what this world, what they want. Mankind is evil, and mankind was created on the 6th day of creation. Oh, yeah, I heard about how soldiers means soul dire. Yeah. Yeah, because if you go to war and you get killed at war, then you lose your soul, and that's a tragic thing. And our children, I was young. I went into the military service when I was 17 years old. Had I got killed or while I was in on the ship, or somebody, like, look at the here, let me show you something. I think it's the USS Stark. Images of the HMS Adelaide. Maybe it's the HMS Adelaide, or was it the Stark? Images of the HMAS Stark after it was hit. Okay, this ship here, try to get a little bit larger. This ship here, right there, this is the ship that I was on. Not this ship, but the style of ship that this is the same kind of ship that I was on. That, look, using common sense. If a torpedo or a missile hits a ship, do you think that it would be extroverted out like this, or do you think that it would be introverted, that it would show an entry? You see right up here, this little deck right here is called an O2 level. This was my lookout station. If 5 people were killed on this attack, if this had been my ship, I would have died. I would have been killed. And we're taught by politicians. As I started this show off, I started it out with a quote from Lord Acton, that's from the 19th century, who was credited with saying power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So the politicians and bankers and senators and governors and all of those, they are all for a system. They're for a left wing, right wing, controlled by one head, the Vatican. Images of inside Vatican Auditorium Hall. That is a snake. That is an image of a snake. Okay, this is inside of a church. There's the fangs, there's the eyes, and look at the scales. The Catholic Church is of the demon serpent race. And this is Jesus. That's Jesus coming out of the pit. And these are all dead souls. What does Jesus say? Revelations chapter 1 verse 16 Bible Hub. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. See, listen, they're screwing with my commands. Revelations chapter 1 verse 16 Bible Hub. So this is talking about Jesus here. Wow, they're really slowing up my stream here. This is what they do. It's exactly what they do. King James Bible says, and in his right hand 7 stars. This is Jesus. 7 stars, and out of his mouth was a double-edged sword, which represents our tongue. If you take the letter S off of sword and you place it on the end of word, you have words. And from his mouth, a sharp, double-edged words, because Jesus is always contradicting himself. All right? And then he says, let's see. Oh, that's the wrong verse. And I hold the keys to death and Hades. Jesus possesses, oh, it is that one. I just didn't read down far enough. I knew it was close to that. So Jesus is saying here, he's the living one. I was dead, and behold, now I'm alive forever and ever. How is Jesus alive forever and ever? He's alive through the flesh suit by those who believe that Jesus is fully man and fully God. And Jesus holds the keys to death and Hades. All right, I get it. I understand. Let me show you a real quick picture here. I'm going to probably end this stream here pretty quickly anyways. I've been at it for an hour and a half. But I just want to show you a couple pictures before your phone may die here. Oh, here. I don't know if you saw that. Mickey inverted upside down is wicked. Mickey Mouse, Disney, all that stuff satanic. They put sex inside of the clouds and stuff. I don't know if you've ever heard that before. There you go. This is what Jesus is. Jesus holds the key. Okay? The cross is the key. But the cross is a representation of death. And this will be the last thing I show you, and then I'm out myself. So in Gematria, Jesus is holding a key. And a key, holding a key in Gematria is 666. This is why I want you to watch my content, man, and learn this stuff, because then you'll have more of an understanding. This is spiritual stuff that I'm sharing with you, all right? Ephesians 6:12 tells us plainly it's not about the flesh and blood. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, Bible Hub. I really want you to read the Bible and read it a lot. Study it. Don't just read it. If you read it, you're not going to learn anything. You got to study it. So King James Bible says, for we wrestle not against the flesh and blood. So the flesh and blood is an illusion. It's not real. Okay? But against the principalities. This is telling you right here. Principalities means the princes, means the kings, means the queens, means the presidents, means senators and governors. So they're all corrupted. They're corrupted people. They were made evil. They're made evil on purpose. They're used as guides, as tools. They're used for, like, when you drink and you get busted for drunk driving. That's what they're used for. They're used for when you try to pick up a prostitute on the streets and you get arrested, and then you got to go through the humiliation if you're married to your wife and stuff, and then she's going to find out. That's what they're used for. It's against the powers. They are the ones that are powers. It's against the rulers of darkness. Darkness is ignorance, evil, wickedness, pain, sorrow, grief, torment. That's what darkness is of the world, against spiritual wickedness. So wicked, there are spiritual wickedness as well. That's what I try to tell people, is there's both good and evil. There's evil spirits. That's why people say when they love God, that you got to be careful, man. What God do they love? They love the God of this world, the one that says that that Jesus, the one that says, I'm going to save you from your sins. And then you got one that's saying, look, don't transgress my laws. Follow my laws and my commandments, and you'll do just fine. Walk contrary to those laws and commandments, then you won't. There's 613 laws in the Old Testament, and there's even more laws in the New Testament. 1,050 laws. We're told all you got to do is call on the name Jesus Christ and you're saved. Then why do you need 1,050 other laws? I want to thank you for coming in and listening. And try to work on your procrastination there. You know, pick that Bible up. And seriously, you have to put in this kind of time. You have to read the Bible at least an hour a day for you to be able to spot when you read something, and then you'll read through it, and then you'll realize, hey, hold on, that's not what I just read back here, that it said this, and now it's saying that. So you can see the contradictions yourself, because Christians are going to tell you that there is no contradictions in this book at all. And that is a fallacy. There's plenty of contradictions in the book. And don't forget to smash the like button for me too, Candace, or Cassandra, if you would. And also to the other subscriber that just came in. You know, I'm getting ready to cut out. So, I mean, I'm grateful that everybody came in. YouTube is shadow banning my content because I teach scriptures. Okay, I teach what's being said. I'm not just reading the Bible to you. Okay, I'm not shunning people off. I give instruction to what's being said, deep theology of instruction to what's being said. All praise and glory must go to the supreme spirit of truth, the eternal one, the omnipotent force that moves all things in place, the creator without beginning or end, the point of singularity. Jesus is the beginning. Jesus is the end. Jesus is the beginning. The beginning is time, 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 24 hours. That's 666. Jesus is the start. The start in gematria is 666. Jesus holds the keys to death and Hades. Holding a key is 666. Jesus was crucified at age 33. 3 plus 3 is 6. Jesus' number in Christianity is 888, and 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24, and 2 plus 4 is 6. Jesus' number in Greek is 2,424, and 2 plus 4 is 6, and 2 plus 4 is 6. Everything that exists around Jesus Christ is 666. He disappeared off grid at the age of 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. He arrived back at the age of 30. 3 plus 3 is 6. He disappeared at 12. He arrived at 30. That's an 18-year difference. 3 divided into 18 is 6. That's 3 sixes. All praise and glory to the Supreme Creator. And to the last person that just came inside of the room, if you'd smash the like button too as well, I'd be very grateful too. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth. This is White Raptor News Ministries. Thanks for coming in, Cassandra. You're awesome. I'm really grateful. And I will continue listening to your streams. And remember, don't just let anybody moderate for you, okay? If you'd like a true moderator, I'll come in and I'll moderate your rooms for you. And anybody who talks trash or talks shit to other people and asks you to dance or becomes crass and isn't with the dialogue, then I'll give them a warning. Everybody deserves one warning. They don't deserve to just be kicked out of the room. You have a wonderful evening. You're an awesome person. Keep doing what you're doing because you are a child of God with spirit on it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Peace be with you. Have a nice night. This is White Raptor News Ministries.